Hello and welcome to this recording, giving you some information about our Gardeniser Pro course and the sort of Gardeniser program that we've been running for the last few years in partnership with other partners across Europe. So today I'm going to tell you a little bit about how Gardeniser Pro works and what the training is and what it delivers and what you can get out of it. And hopefully you'll find it really interesting and exciting. I'm really happy if anyone wants to contact me after having seen this. My email address is heidi@farmgarden.org.uk, and you can contact me if you need to ask more questions. But for now, I'm just going to go through and explain what the course is all about and what you can get out of it. So hopefully, here we go. So what's it all about? So as it says here, the name Gardeniser is kind of unique, and it's basically the coordinating role or the management role that people have in a community garden, or that could be in a care farm or a city farm or an orchard, but it's probably somebody that's got some sort of key managerial role or management type role within one of those spaces. And we've been developing this course and working with our partners in Italy, France, Austria, and the UK for the last few years. And they're all able to deliver this course as well. Basically, originally this started because we were working on an Erasmus Plus project with them. And Erasmus Plus, if you're not aware of that, is all about education, training. And this course is particularly for adult education and adult training. So the course is aimed at 18-year-olds and older. And the course, the good thing about Erasmus Plus, which unfortunately is going to end next June for the UK because we're coming out of this program, but the good thing about it is it's enabled everyone to share what's going on across Europe in all those growing spaces and find out and learn from each other about what's happening and what's exciting, and learn really good best practice there. So Erasmus Plus really is all about sort of innovation, sharing best practice, and offering really new opportunities to people so that they can share and learn from each other across Europe. So the Gardeniser Pro course that we're going to spend most of the time on today is really part of a bigger family. We've got some other programs. At the moment, we're running something called Gardeniser Hub. Gardeniser Hub is we're training people to be trainers of Gardeniser, and we're developing some further training for local authorities and for schools. So we're still involved with that, and we're working on that until next June 2023. And then there's another shorter program that's run by our French partner called Gardeniser Plus. And that is really a chance to share more best practice with more EU partners. So in addition to the partners that I already listed, we've also got partners from Sweden, Poland, and Denmark, who are new partners but are really interested in what's going on with this whole training program. So there's some internships happening between the various countries right now, and people are getting a chance to visit each other in those different places and find out what's going on as well. So yes, it's really taken off, and we have a lot going on. But it's Gardeniser Pro, which is the sort of course that we've been delivering for the last 3 years at Social Farms and Gardens. And Gardeniser Pro was originally written as a face-to-face course, but with COVID, we turned it into a 10-week online course as well. So we can do both, and we have delivered both about 4 times now, and they both work, but they are different kinds of experiences. In both courses, though, you get a chance to really meet other people from other places and other sites that you might not, and get a chance to sort of learn from each other. And that's one of the most exciting things about the course in general. So let me just take you through a little bit about sort of what we cover in the course so you get an idea. The course is divided into 3 modules, and the first module is all about sort of the the place and understanding the community garden and where it's come from. So we look at the history of not just community gardens, but city farms as well. We look at how you work in your community, the importance of working with other partners, advocacy, good communication and managing conflict, finding the right site for your project, and designing your site. So there's quite a lot that we cover in that first module. And then we move on to working effectively with staff and volunteers. So we're really focusing on the people side of things. So it's all about how do you make sure you're looking after your staff and your volunteers and the people that come to visit you. How do you make sure you support people? And that's not just the people that come to your site who are either volunteers or maybe just visiting, but it's also about making sure that staff are supported as well, because it can be a stressful job and we really know that. So we spend some time talking about that too, and looking at that and how to support people. We look at some of the challenges that there are of working with volunteers, but also how to make sure that when you do recruit them and train them up and get them inducted, that you keep them, because that's really important. If you've gone to that big effort to get to the point where you've got some really good volunteers, you want to make sure that they keep coming back. So that module 2 is really all about working with people. And then the last one is not just financial sustainability, but sustainability in general of your project, really. We do look at sort of some budgeting and look at some of the costs and some of the money that might be required. But we also talk about how you can save money and how you might not need as much money as you might think you do. We look at how to create an action plan so that you can deliver something to plan and not get too flustered and overwhelmed by it all. We look at other ways that you might be bringing in income and do a lot of interesting sharing of lots of different unique ideas and ways to do that. We have some time that we spend on looking at, once you've done some things, how do you evaluate what you've done and show your value to other people so that people know that what you're doing, because it's not just about creating a garden with lots of vegetables, you're helping people in lots of different ways as well, and you're bringing communities together. So evaluation is a big important part of making sure that you understand how and what you're doing is important to your community. And then we also do something that we call a health check of the project to sort of see how healthy everything is, and do you have enough people on your board? Do you have enough volunteers? Do you have enough money coming in? Do you have the right equipment? Do you have the right land? All of those things add up to a really healthy project at the end of the day. So after we've done all that, we do that all via the classroom. You will have got through all 3 modules on the course. Now we use something called the ECVET system to test, really, and to show that you have learned something in a non-formal way. ECVET stands for this European Credit System for Vocational Educational Training, and it's a technical framework for the recognition of learning outcomes. And at the end you get a qualification, you get a license once you've gone through this whole system. ECVET works hand in hand with European qualifications framework to give sort of greater transparency in European qualifications. And ECVET recognizes that people learn not just in a classroom system, but they also learn outside and they learn from each other. So it's a system that is recognized across Europe and is well used now across lots of different kinds of training. So it suits this course really well. So in terms of how the training works, if you do the face-to-face course, you would, if you were coming to a course, and the next course is being run in London next month in May, you would do 5 days, 40 hours of classroom training. And then you would then go off in your own time, and I'll usually give you about 6 months to do 40 hours of independent internship. And I'll go through later on a little bit about what that internship looks like. And once you've completed all that, then you can go on to take the online test at your own convenience. And once you get through the test, then you've got a license to show with these ECVET points. 7.5 ECVET points is what this course is worth. So what we do if we do either classroom or online training is we review all the work done before and explore lots of different topics that I just mentioned. And the course is a mixture of lots of things. It's presentations, so we do have some PowerPoints, but we also do a lot of collaborative work. We use breakout rooms, group discussions, and we really, really encourage you to work with other people because you're going to meet a lot of other people who will want to learn from you, and you're going to want to learn from them, and they're going to be all over the UK. But also, if you do the online course, often we have people from across the world. We've had people from Australia, Germany, Italy, Denmark. So you know, you will meet a wide range of people, and I think that's an amazing thing going forward to take away with you. So the internship, just a little bit more. The internship is, if you were doing the face-to-face course, these are the sort of major things, but we also cover these each week in the 10 weeks of online training. So you would hand in homework around this. But basically, what you need to do is you need to visit 3 different community gardens. We think that's really important, to go visit lots of different places, find out what's happening in different spaces. And because you're on this course, you will meet other people who will be very happy to have you come to, and it doesn't, as I say, have to be a community garden. It could be a city farm, it could be a care farm, it could be an orchard. Lots of different spaces are perfectly fine as long as they are community managed and community run. So you can also, then the second thing to do in the internship is to help a community garden with running a local consultation, and we'll go through that in some detail in the course. We want you to organize an activity in the garden with volunteers. We want you to help recruit volunteers at a community growing space or garden, farm, whatever that might be. Help with some recruitment, and we'll give you lots of ideas of how that works. We want you to look at how you run an induction process once you've got some volunteers. We want you to look at devising a budget, creating an action plan, showing how your income is generated, run an evaluation session, and undertake a health check of a garden. So again, that sort of covers all the things that follow along from the classroom work and the main things that we cover when we're in the classroom. The internship very much backs up what you're doing, and hopefully it will be things that you've already done before anyway, or may have some experience with, and you can just show us what you know. Because we're not trying to necessarily teach you all new things. We are also trying to recognize that you know a lot already and can use what you know in this internship to show what you know. So once you've done all the classroom hours and the out of classroom work, whether that be a sort of actual internship or you're handing in homework if you're doing the online course, then you've completed the classroom bit and you can take the Gardeniser test online. And there's a website that you do this on. And then you can see here my picture and a few other colleagues' pictures, and you get put on the map as well. So it's a really great way to increase your profile and meet other people, and it's increasing all the time. I think we've got about 80 qualified Gardenisers in the UK, but we've got people across the world now as well who have become licensed Gardenisers as well. And you would, once you pass that test, people can find you and you can find them, and they'll be able to see you on the map. So this is what the Gardeniser website looks like, and you can find it at www.gardeniser.eu, or just simply Google Gardeniser and this should come up, and you'll see that it's got all kinds of, as I said, it's got a map in it, it's got a profile section, so everybody that's done the license is profiled, but then there's also lots of tools and links with other people and other places so that you can find other information that might be useful to you. There's a bit of an explanation there about what the ECVET credits are and how they work as well. So lastly, we've got the next course coming up, which is going to be on the 16th to the 20th of May in London. We're going to be running it in a number of different sites in London, and we're taking applications now, but obviously we're getting towards May now, so the sooner you can apply, the better. But we'd love to hear from you if you think this is something that would be interesting to you. We've certainly had a lot of really positive comments about it, and people have found this to be a really good way to sort of improve the way they may do things at the site that they work in, network with other people, find a whole other world of other people out there doing something similar to what you're doing, which sometimes it can feel like a very lonely job. And also show what you know, because a lot of what you're going to be learning is things you're probably doing on a regular basis, but this gives you a qualification to show that you do know what you're doing. So I encourage you to come along and have a look on our website, and you can find out more about Gardeniser, or feel free to contact me. I'm happy to hear from you. Talk to you soon.